Everybody, I want to explain our aquaponics system today. If you look down here, there's a pipe that's got water coming out of it. That water is coming from up here in this bed, okay? And what's happening is if we look over here at this blue line travels all the way up, comes up here to this 5-gallon bucket, which is known as a swirl filter. What the swirl filter does is just that. It swirls around and around, catches all of the thick and the heavy and the nasty poo, drops the sediment to the bottom, lets the ammonia water release into the beds. Then the media bed, which is a stone type material that's made for growing plants in, it's very lightweight and it gets consumed by the water, which makes it heavy. But anyway, that water travels through here, the stones actually filter it out, and then whenever it gets so full, this right here is called a siphon. And whenever this siphon valve gets to the point that the water is to a certain point while it starts to siphon, it dumps in like you seen it made a minute ago. If you'll notice, there's a second pipe that comes up through here and into this bed, which also works as a swirl filter. It very slowly is swirling around. You can't really see it because we've got it full of plants. And that is taking the second part of the heavy debris out that can't be caught in that filter instead of just dumping it back in the fish. And then this tank itself is filtered right back down in. And that's how we keep the water clean for our fish. If you look real close, right there is one of our buddies. He's right down in there. I don't know if you can see him or not. Right there's one of our buddies. But all together, there's about 15 fish in here right now. They're all bluegill, other than there's one bass, I believe, we absolutely got in there. But that's okay. And anyhow, so this water, like I said, is cycled from this tank to that tank and allows our fish to have clean water, feeds our plants, gives them the nutrients. If you look at my plants, you'll see that they got a nice dark green to my peppers. My basil back here is nice and plump. If it looks a little weak, it's because we've recently done some trimming and it's drying out. My cucumbers are coming on. I'm actually starting to get some nice large beginnings of cucumbers. I'll find you one of them here in just a moment. There's one of those guys right there. They're just now starting to come on. The reason we haven't had great response up until now is we didn't have a proper light on them. We were trying to do this with low budget, and as you can see, we're still kind of low budget. We've built our own shroud, and I didn't do a really pretty job of it. I just wanted it to shred the light down onto them and be reflective, and so I just did it as economically and as cheap as I can.
What's with all the strings?
The strings that you're seeing around here are strings that are tied up to go up high, and they're helping our plants to grow straight. Now I'm going to keep them growing nice and straight, and they'll work their way up. And here in a few weeks, we'll have pepper plants all the way up. Probably about Christmas, we will be having a pretty nice harvest of plants coming through here. I would say in the spring the system will actually be a year old since we started putting it together, and it takes a full year for it to really get cycled correctly and everything start going on and really build the bacteria where you really get your harvest coming in and out quickly and doing what it's supposed to. So this is just a short beginning of what we're doing with our Heroes operation, and this is the beginning of it, getting the food to start to grow. And right now we're on an experimental basis, and we're still learning ourselves, so there's a lot to be found, there's a lot to be learned.
What's the screen?
This screen is just a floating bed, and it's got lettuce growing in it. These little sprouts that you see, they're just simply seed that we let lay up on here, and it's growing down through that screen into the bed.
So there may be tomatoes in there too.
Well, there's some tomato starts coming in there, but those are going to be moved from there once they get started and sprouted up. The tomatoes are. And right here we've got another set of tomatoes that are starting. But we're just experimenting with different ways to start tomatoes because we've had trouble growing our tomatoes this far. Our peppers, as you can see, have been wonderful. And everything we've done here has come from seed. Right here, if you look, we started our first cloning from seed. These are our cuts off of our pepper plant. We've done them from a technique that we learned online. It's completely organic. You use cinnamon as you would a rooting compound and dip the end of your root into it. Before you put it in there, you put some honey and let it seep down in the hole. And you stick your plant down into that. when you do, you trim back your leaves to about half the leaf, and you just let it go, and in about 15 days it's supposed to start sprouting roots and take off on its own. So this is our first try at it. We'll see how it works. That's it for today.